Welcome back to the Seven Figure Flipping Podcast. I've got an incredible episode today. We're going to talk about the biggest takeaways from our most recent event. If you don't know, we have mastermind communities inside of Seven Figure Flipping where the best real estate investors from across the country get together and share their tactics, techniques, strategies, leadership, mindset, you name it. All the best things are put on the table, complete abundance. And over the past week, we met at our headquarters in Nashville, and we had 170 real estate investing businesses. Most of them were flippers, flipping companies, rehab companies, and we shared the best tactics from some really big takeaways that I'll share from marketing that I got from that. We brought in somebody from Hollywood. Wow. Talk about insane breakthrough on that. Pretty wild. Okay, so what happened? So we got together. We have two communities. We have the Runway community and the Altitude community. So Runway are the companies that are gaining consistency and building their business, typically a deal or two done, maybe up to 10 within 12 months. So actually doing a deal or two every month. And then Altitude is our big community. It's where we've got some of the best investors in the country, anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 deals a year to hundreds of deals a year. We've got the whole gambit on that. Okay. So the first day we actually did a small group invite only day on capital raising. If you don't know, my partner, Bill Allen, is one of the best capital raisers in the country. He's raised for rent to own deals. He's raised for tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, definitely over $100 million for apartment syndications. He's raised for millions of dollars for fix and flips in his career. He has definitely raised over $100 million in his career. And he spent an entire day breaking down his entire system on capital raising, how he organizes his potential lenders, how he finds new lenders, how he communicates to new lenders, how he has conversations with lenders to figure out what their goals are. And he basically got 30 or so businesses in the room, 20 to 30 folks in the room, and taught them his entire playbook. If you don't know, it's one of his greatest superpowers and one of the things he loves teaching other people how to do more than anything. In fact, if you didn't know, he's been doing 5-day trainings. He spends about an hour and a half a day training on a kind of a 5-day challenge for raising capital for your real estate deals. I'll put a link in the comments to that. But we spent a whole day. So check that link out if you're like, oh, capital raising, I need more money for my real estate deals, or I need to figure out how to get money for my real estate deals. Like I did the challenge a couple weeks ago and raised, $200,000-$300,000 for deals that I was personally doing and needed to close on, just using exactly what he taught me to do. So that was day one. It was invite only. We had a few folks in the room learning how to raise and scale their businesses through bringing capital into their business. And then we kicked off with our Altitude community. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I think my biggest takeaway, the absolute best presentation on that first day, was Andy McFarlane. If you guys don't know Andy, go back and listen to a bunch of episodes with him. But he is multi-decade investor in this space. He still runs a multiple 7-figure flipping and mostly a flipping company. They do some other exit strategies, but he's been flipping recently. And what he did was share the most important things we should be tracking in today's market. He did kind of an economic deep dive on it and what he's tracked for over 10 years that has not done him wrong in terms of data. It was super impactful for me. Everybody knows I'm a big data guy. I thought that was incredible. Okay, and the probably if I had to rank the second thing that I learned, there was a really cool marketing presentation. I think broad strategy wise for marketing, people have been spending a bunch of money on digital marketing, PPC, being Google Ads pay per click, or pay per lead, which is put $1 in, basically somebody sends you a lead back, lots of direct mail, lots of cold calling, all of those types of things. And then recently, what we've been seeing in the marketplace is a more targeted strategy is having the best margins. I can tell you, us being more targeted on the data that we're using and what we're targeting, I just looked at our numbers today. We're getting a 24 to 1 ROAS. Like every dollar we spent, we're getting $24 out, and it's actually going to improve tomorrow when we close a couple deals. It's insane. It's insane. So bottom line is, you don't have to spend a zillion dollars on marketing. $100,000 on marketing to make 150. We're spending about $5,000 a month to make about 100 to 150,000. So this particular presentation at the event was incredible. It talked exactly about what the best data sources have been across all the businesses that this Tyler Jensen kind of pulled the businesses, seen what everybody's having the most success with, looked at KPIs, and then also in the businesses that he's a part of. And he basically shared those lists. So like DataFlik is one of them. If you guys don't know about DataFlik, we'll put a link in the comments to DataFlik. They're one of the best data providers. They do predictive data. They do stack niche data. And then there were some other super ninja tricks using AI to get a hold of, water shutoff list and all this other stuff. So the marketing one, I guarantee is going to make people tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that was just really cool to see that shared. And we just went into like a lot of like hot seats and workshop rooms to like really focus on working on our business rather than in our business. And it was super, super powerful. After that, we go into day 2, and day 2, we had both communities together. I mean, talk about packed house at our headquarters. Absolutely insane. And we had a script writer from Hollywood come out to help people work on themselves. Believe it or not, it was insane. And I'll give you just one big takeaway from that. The takeaway from that was answer this question. I will do whatever it takes to blank to reach your goal, whatever that goal is. Just don't ask me to. What are you unwilling to do? And I will do whatever it takes to do blank. Just don't ask me to blank. And that was just the start of it. It went on to deep dive, 7 more layers deeper to really figure out what that thing is that's holding us back as entrepreneurs. What is that next mindset jump we have to have? It doesn't matter where you are. If you're just getting started, there's probably something that's holding you back. And if you've been doing this for a while and you're feeling kind of stagnant, frankly, it's probably something holding you back too, because you're only going to grow and your team's only going to grow to the level of the leadership on the team. So that was insane, absolutely insane on day 2 with everybody together. And then we go into the third and fourth days where we just got super deep in workshops. We talked about exit strategies, tax deed, tax liens, foreclosures, flipping, creative finance, subject to, all these things that are ancillary but can drive big profit margins in your business. Dove into all those things. It was super, super incredible. And of course, we had a bunch of networking. We went to downtown Nashville. We went to the Opry. It was super cool, and it was such a family environment. While we were downtown Nashville, we had a really great opportunity just to get together as family, but we spent time talking about what we're doing with the 7-Figure Foundation, which if you guys don't know, it's the nonprofit foundation that was started out of 7-Figure Flipping a few years ago, and since then have built beds for children that have no beds and that are sleeping on the floor. They've went to the foundation has taken our community to Mexico and Costa Rica and other places abroad to build houses for families that I mean, frankly, they're sleeping in the dirt. They just don't have much. They're cooking over open fires. They certainly don't have a house. So we partner with other nonprofits down there to go down there and build houses. Now, that isn't just us throwing money at those problems either. That's like our community, people from our community taking the trip down there and using their hands and their hard work and building these houses. Andy McFarland got up. He gave a great story about the impact that it made on his kids, because of course our kids, all of our events, all of our stuff, all super family friendly. We had babies at the event. We had other kids at the event. Families are always welcome at what we're doing. So we take our families with us to get the experience of going to a place that's underserved and us serving that place. And we know it just makes a big impact on our kids. Andy McFarland told a great story about how it made an impact on his kids. And, it wouldn't be an event if Andy didn't shed a tear. So he shed a tear because it was just such an impactful moment for him. And I mean, oh my gosh, we talked about rent to own too. I'm so excited about this one. Rent to own. I know a lot of people are already doing this, but really love that strategy just because you can make money 3 times on a deal. And basically just having the experts in our community who do that as a primary strategy, break that down for everybody was super impactful. Flipping mobile homes. I mean, I know that Lindsay and I and Blackjack have flipped mobile homes, and frankly, they've been some of our best profit deals here in Florida when we're flipping. So that's cool just to get that kind of education and see what other people are doing, figuring out what the one thing is that we're going to take away and implement in our business, and see how it's going to help us make a bigger impact. And we kind of capped it off with going through Bill giving a great presentation and going through the hero's journey, which he talked a lot about, like just, keeping the essence of who you are, but evolving your identity. Sometimes we start to tell ourselves this is who we are, and it prevents us from becoming who we need to be or who we want to be. And you talked a lot about shedding that previous identity, keeping the essence of your core values and who you are, and then growing into the new identity. That's really impactful, I think, for a lot of folks who are either sitting in a W-2 and want to do real estate or want to be an entrepreneur, or if you're already an entrepreneur, you already know there are seasons of growth, there are seasons of challenge, and constantly working on yourself to be better it's non-negotiable, frankly. So it was an awesome event. It literally, I think, will change people's businesses, change people's lives, frankly, like it already has so many. So if you want to learn more about the capital raising thing that I was speaking about in the beginning, where Bill Allen is going to spend 5 days to include VIP. Like, he's not just going to teach his entire playbook in 5 days, but he's also going to spend an hour with folks after doing Q&A. Really, really awesome training. Like I said, I did it 2 weeks ago, helped me raise almost 300K, actually a little over 300K for my business, deals that I was doing. Just taking a few things out of there and implementing it. We'll put that link in the show notes. I definitely encourage you to check that out. Sometimes there's a waiting list. Sometimes you can get right into one depending on when they're doing them, but he's doing them pretty often, weekly, sometimes 2-3 times a month. So definitely jump in there. I think he only does it with maybe a couple hundred people at a time. So jump in as soon as you can, grab a seat. It's really awesome. And then, for the data, I mentioned DataFlik. I'll put that in the notes. And honestly, if you just want to talk to us because you're more curious about our community, you can always just reach out to me, or you can send us an email at info@sevenfigureflipping.com and ask questions, learn about our community. We'd love to tell you about it. And we'd love to talk to you. So thanks for tuning into this one. It was an awesome event. I appreciate you guys. Go and leave us a review. Tell us it's 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, just reach out to me personally. We can talk about it. If it's 5 stars, definitely leave a review. All right. See you on the next one.